Hey everybody, Daniel from Spacedock here, and I just wanted to drop a quick video to break down some news that has been released on the new Y-Wing bomber class from Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. This information comes from the new sourcebook, the Rebel Starfighters Owner's Workshop Manual, a preview of that. The book itself is not out yet. And in these preview pages we can see quite a lot of information about this, the BTA-NR2 Y-Wing. This is the third iteration of the Y-Wing in the new canon after the btl-b from the Clone Wars and the btl-a4 from the Galactic Civil War. It seems like the btl-s3 from Star Wars Legends has not manifested in the new canon. Same goes for the long probe variant, which is a shame because they were both very cool. But as the lore states on this new ship, it's Cohen Sayar manufacturing design, same as the original Y-Wing, and it was introduced after the Galactic Civil War for use by the New Republic, and closely based on the modifications that were made by Alliance cells using old Y-Wings during the war. Basically, Cohen Sayar is trying to lean into the ship's fame that it's built up across the war with the Empire. However, that seems to be where the positive information ends on this ship, because it's sort of beset by committee-designed disaster decisions throughout this. It seems the Galactic Concordance, which is the treaty that ended the Galactic Civil War, includes some stipulations that may have been brought in at the time it was signed or may have been brought in later, but either way they prohibit the development of proton torpedoes and ion cannons, or the installment of those kind of weapons, on any ship in the New Republic Navy. This is apparently to avoid the appearance of undue militarism, to make the New Republic look more like a peaceful, benevolent power rather than a dictatorship or anything that could be in danger of looking like Palpatine's Empire, and also to avoid provoking powers like the Hutts or the First Order as they came into existence. So yes, torpedoes were banned and ion cannons were banned, and then apparently, in spite of this, the New Republic decided to order a line of torpedo bombers with no torpedoes. So this is the first Y-Wing not to carry torpedoes for some reason. Apparently proton bombs are okay, because this has proton bombs, which seems paradoxical to me, because a proton bomb is basically just a torpedo that you drop on someone. But either way, the original rolled-out line model of this carried only laser cannons, and I assume its gun turret also had laser cannons. But later on, by the time of the Rise of Skywalker, after the New Republic is long gone, the Resistance have modified these to carry torpedoes and ion cannons on the turrets. I'm not sure how an aftermarket torpedo launcher works. You'd assume that a torpedo launcher would have to be a tube built into the space frame that was fundamental to the ship's design and structure and linked to some kind of loading mechanism. I don't know how you can attach something like that to a design that already exists that wasn't built to carry it, but I guess the Resistance have done that somehow. But this revelation about the New Republic's rules against torpedoes do make a lot of sense in context. It explains why the T-85 X-Wing has no torpedo launchers, unlike its predecessors in the T-70 and T-65 models. I assume the T-70 predates the Galactic Concordance, or at least the part of the Galactic Concordance that instituted these rules. We hear that there were prototypes for the model existing before the Battle of Jakku, so I guess that's why the T-70 has torpedo launchers, though I don't doubt that the New Republic would have had some where they'd removed them. To quickly break down some of the stats on this new Y-Wing, it is 18.17 meters long, which is quite substantially shorter than the btl-a4. It has a much kind of stumpier neck at the front. A lot of the bulk has been removed there, and it has this more sloping, kind of thinly armored bow section. Aside from that, the space frame is very visually similar, aside from these clear distinctions on the fronts of the engine nacelles. I quite like the look of these. I do think it's a shame that this thing is painted in this kind of pastel red. I would have quite liked to see the same kind of blue New Republic Navy colours that we see on the T-85 X-Wing on this bomber. Once again, there's no kind of armour plating around the central section. I imagine there's some kind of ceremonial versions or New Republic versions that have this back, but generally speaking they seem to have recreated the Alliance policy of not bothering to armour any of the greeblies in the central area of this ship, though we are told that the deflector shields have been improved and the space frame is more robust and faster than the A4 model. In that little bit of the trailer for Rise of Skywalker, we can see one of these things pulling some fairly fancy maneuvers for a strike bomber, so that added maneuverability is quite evident. But overall, it's a torpedo bomber with no torpedoes that has had torpedoes welded to it by people 20 years after its introduction. So it's a bit of a bureaucratic mess. It seems to be completely in the character of the New Republic to design this kind of nonsense. I'm curious to see how this ship handles itself in The Rise of Skywalker, and if we'll see this in any other production Star Wars material coming forward. But generally speaking, I think making a bomber faster at the cost of it having any heavy weapons is not really how you design a bomber, and I have to wonder why they would ever even consider introducing a line of strike bombers at all if their intention was not not to appear unnecessarily aggressive, because a bomber is not a peacekeeping craft, it's not a defensive craft, it is quintessentially an attack vessel. So who knows what the New Republic was thinking there, but either way, it's a new ship, and it's kind of cool to see that the Y-Wing line has survived in some way beyond the Galactic Civil War, so I'm looking forward to seeing these things in use in December. That's all from me, just wanted to bring you up to speed on this bit of information. This is Daniel from Spacedock, signing off. Thank you for watching Spacedock. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please do check out the links on the screen right now or in the description below for our Patreon and channel membership services. Anything you can pledge goes towards improving our team and our equipment and allowing us to put together bigger and more exciting video projects for you guys on the channel.